want you to know something. That the bigger your dream is, I want you to understand the harder the grind. The bigger your dream is, the earlier you're gonna have to get up. The longer you're gonna have to stay up. The bigger your dream is, the more effort you're gonna have to put in. You'll never see it for those of you who are 70% beast mode, 30% gazelle. That's just enough for that other person to outdo you. Listen to me, that's just enough for the other person who wants just what you want. I want you to think about those goals. I want you to taste them. I want you to internalize it. I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you to know how close. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. But more importantly, I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. When you said to yourself, when the ball comes out, this is what I want to accomplish, you're not the only person that wants to accomplish it. And now I ask you this question: what do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want?
Greatness is the most demanding mistress you're ever going to encounter. And I understand the advice that I'm about to give you is not for everyone. Most people should turn this off. But if you're going to stick with me, if you're going to listen to what I have to say, it's because you want something tremendous in your life. You want to stand out from everyone else. You want to do something more than other people think is possible. You literally want to stand outside the norm. And if that's the case for you, then understand that, as Albert Einstein said, only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. If you want to get great, if you really want to make a skill set your own, if you want to be able to do something, and at the end of the day, if you want to transform the world, if you want to make grand changes, if you want to do all of that shit, all the empty words that people spout all the time, let me tell you, the only thing that's going to separate you from all the other blowhards who are just talking words and will never do anything is to give yourself over completely, to let that obsession, let that thing that you love completely consume you. And in that, your only chance to really become great lies. As Franz Kafka said, don't bend, don't water down, don't try to make it logical. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Can you do that? Can you become mercilessly obsessed? Can you let something occupy you to where all logic and reason is gone out the window and the only thing that matters is whether or not you accomplish? Will you hold yourself accountable to metrics? Will you look at the world and see, am I actually making change? Are you prepared to hold yourself to that standard? Because if you are, there is nothing you can't do. If you're willing to take that responsibility on to transform yourself as a human being, if you give yourself over to getting great, if you give yourself over to that obsession, if you feed it like you would feed a beast, if you feed it like you would feed a fire that can wipe out an entire mountainside, then you've got a chance. But it's got to burn within you like that. You've got to feed it like that. You've got to feed it skills. You've got to get better every day. You've got to constantly wake up and understand exactly what it is that you're building towards that, and build towards it with a relentlessness that other people think is mania, that other people can see only madness in what you do. And if you can push yourself to that level, then the world will bend to your will.
You gotta see the world through a lens that empowers you. You gotta see yourself the way God intended for you to be. The lens I'm talking about, that's your mindset, your belief system, your paradigm. See, people have the false perception that if they imitate the actions of a champion or someone who's really successful, that they will get the same results. This is why so many fail. Success cannot be produced with a mindset that doesn't support it. First, you gotta get your mind right. Next, you gotta get your grind right. Then go out and get your life right. To change your behavior, we must first address the mindset that produces it. Our life is just the sum total of our most dominant thought patterns. So this year will be defined by how many days you can consistently think like a champion. Now people will say, Billy, you are wrong. Success is about taking action. But what the masses don't understand is, once you align your mind with success, the actions will follow. Action is the fruit of thought. Get your mind right. See, people trying to do the actions without changing who they are on the inside. Now, you can do that for a week. You can do that for 2 weeks, 15 days. That's why they say 15 days into the year, people have already broke their resolutions. Because, see, they're trying to act their way into success. You can't act your way into success. You got to think your way there. Now, let me reiterate my point. Outcomes are produced from mindsets. So decide who you want to be, and then adopt the thinking patterns and the belief systems that will produce it. Now, if you just address the action part alone, you're gonna fail. This is why diets don't work. People say, tell me what to eat so I can lose weight. See, their focus is on the doing, the action. When people ask me, what should I eat? I reply, who do you want to be? Let's get the identity right first. You get the identity right first, everything else will take care of itself. If you study the lives of greats, the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs, the Richard Branson, the Jeff Bezos, the Bill Gates, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, they're all in different fields, but they all have one thing in common. They know who they are. Self-awareness, success, being a champion, it's all about identity. Who do you want to be? Setting goals without addressing your identity is useless. You can only become and achieve what you think you are. Talent is a slave to mindset. The most dominant thinking pattern shall dictate the fate of one's potential. Discipline is the fruit of the champion's mindset. The masses are merely satellites of the status quo, where champions become the gravity that puts the world in orbit around them. See, to sell a dream to the world, you gotta first believe it yourself. If you study great coaches, great leaders, the first thing they do when they take over a program or a business is they address the culture, the mindset of the entity, whether that's a team or a business, a nonprofit, whatever. Vision is the genesis of all greatness. And vision is just an extension of self-awareness of who God is and who God made you to be and what God called you to do. The reason many of you out there are struggling is because you're out of position. You're not doing what God made you to do, what He called you to do. You're in the wrong profession. Inside, you know where you should be. You chase the money. Stop chasing the money. See, the money is the fruit of the calling. When you're in your calling, the money will follow. That's where the blessing is. Stop asking God to bless what you're doing and do what God has already blessed. Don't get confused. Just because you admire somebody's calling and what they're doing does not mean that you are anointed to do it. The best way to impact the world is to be yourself. If you want to be successful, start with authenticity, then build everything else in your life around it. That's the secret to success. This is the year of simplification. Don't overcomplicate things. Mastering the basics is what produces greatness. Now I gotta keep it real with you. This year, there's gonna be some times if you're chasing massive success that you're gonna feel uncomfortable. But success requires embracing the uncertainty. The impossible becomes possible for those who dare to embrace the unconventional. To go to the top this year, you're gonna have to think outside the box. Losers bow to obstacles. Champions make obstacles bow to them. Now when you get finished listening to this message, I want you to pull out your goals for this year. I want you to take a pen and draw a line through every single one of them. Then I want you to pull out another piece of paper. And at the very top, I want you to write, who do I want to be? Start with your outcome. Get alone somewhere. I want you to dig deep with this question. See, questions will take you wherever you want to go in life. Wherever you want to go, all you got to do is find the right question that will take you there. You want personal transformation? You want to change your life? This is the question to do it. Who do you want to be? And when you truly awaken to that question, then you set the goals. For now, your goal is to figure out who you want to be. This is why so many professional athletes or lottery winners go broke. See, they think it's about the money. They aim for the money. See, it's not the money that you want, it's the financial freedom that you want. That's why when they get the money, they can't keep it because they don't have the identity to sustain it. Who do you want to be? I close out with this. Let us enjoy the blessing this year and not get lost in it. God is not the author of confusion. So I pray that He gives you divine clarity and revelation as to who He has created and designed you to be, so that you may step into that calling with boldness this year. So I'm gonna close this message out with the word. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 12:2. I'm Billy Allsbrooks, blessed and unstoppable. To God be the glory.